to the war in Ukraine, and the nation's armed forces say they've partially pushed back Russian troops from a town in the north of Kharkiv following recent attacks. I'm pleased to say we're now joined by Yuriy, an advisor to Ukraine's Ministry of Strategic Industries. Yuriy, always good to speak with you. Can you give us the latest on the situation in the northeast, in the Kharkiv region?
Good afternoon, Kamali. And if you compare the situation to where it was when this latest stage of Russia's offensive started, so we have been able to relocate our reserves, we have been able to reinforce our troops, and we have been able to not only slow down Russian advances, but in some parts of that front line, we are able to push them out. Of course, the site of the most fierce battles right now is the small town of Vovchansk, which is only 5 kilometers from the Russian border. But as soon as we identify small groups of Russian soldiers, we try to destroy them. And actually, since the beginning of this latest attack, Russians have lost almost 700 killed in action and wounded. They have lost almost 100 different armored vehicles and tanks. So we continue to degrade their army, and this has been and continues to be our priority number one.
And Yuriy, hasn't that come at the expense of some of the other fronts? You said you've redeployed some groupings. I mean, our understanding is that some of your best troops on the 42nd Mechanized, the 92nd, the 93rd have had to go up into and around Vovchansk to help in that defence. Doesn't that weaken the front down further south?
Well, Kamali, because we had intelligence about the preparations of the aggressors to advance in the Kharkiv region, we were able to ensure that, these relocations of our reserves don't impact other parts of the front line. And this is not to say that the situation is calm and quiet, because, for example, just today in the south, near the town of Robotino, there's another site of very intense battles. But at the same time, for the moment, the situation is under control, and we will just continue to defend and repel the attacks.
OK, 2 more questions for you, Yuriy, because we don't have loads of time. You will have seen, potentially, there is reporting from President Putin out of China saying that he is open to dialogue with Ukraine. Negotiations must take into account the interests of all countries involved in the conflict. What's your response to that?
That's a complete and blatant lie, because nothing that the aggressors are doing on the front lines, the way they are bombarding our civilian cities, the way they are trying to continue this genocidal war, nothing suggests that they are really prepared for meaningful peace talks. But at the same time, of course, we have made our peace plan known publicly a long time ago. We are hoping to have a successful peace summit in June, and we hope that the international community will continue to be rallied around and behind our peace plan, because that's the only way to achieve victory and to put this war to an end.
And Yuriy, that peace summit is due to be in Switzerland, as I understand it, in June. Final point, Antony Blinken has been in country for the past couple of days. It's reported he said that US weapons for strikes on Russia, they don't encourage you to strike Ukraine with those US-made weapons, but Ukraine has to make the decision for itself. Does that mean that, the restrictions have changed and then you could start striking into Russia with some of those US weapons?
Well, I think we will all see very soon what this strategically ambiguous statement means. But I would like to stress another point. In the newly announced package, the United States of America will be pledging, hundreds of millions of US dollars towards helping Ukraine build up our own defense industry base. This is what we were doing. We are building drones, we are building armored vehicles, we're building and making ammunition. So this latest announcement of the new support package is really crucial, because, here in Ukraine, we are manufacturing freedom. We have projects. We are inviting other countries to invest, to buy Ukrainian weapons from the Ukrainian manufacturers for the Ukrainian army. And this is a very important point.
OK. Yuriy, advisor to the government of Ukraine, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Kamali. Thank you.
Thanks, Yuriy. Thanks for speaking again.